All right, I'm going to try to just go quick or simple through this marriage sequence. And so this one I kind of fucked up. I did it too small at the smallest point, um, which means I probably have this done somewhere else. Hold on one second. All right, well, let's see. I can't zoom in for some reason. Maybe I can. Okay, there we go. That's zoomed in. I mean, you guys, you don't necessarily need to see these numbers. Just imagine they're always the same. So the cool thing about this picture is that all the colors are the same. So 6 plus 4 is 1. So it's 1 here, and then every other place it's going to show up as 6 and 4. Just it's the way this chart um, works out. So this is a full 12 on 12. And so you can do this chart different ways. This way just makes the most sense because it shows you the 12 positions of the geometry of like why we have a clock, why Jesus has 12 disciples, why the Jews use a 6-pointed star, why 3 can be a big deal, and sometimes looked at as like a woman or a witch, but it's also like the 3 is more so a lot of times looked at as energy too, or a forking. The problem with all this stuff is that Sophia, little Miss Mossy. All right, so what was that? Here is 1.5. This is 6 is 1.5. See 1.1, 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12. So this is the sequence, and I'll always be just repeating this. Actually, I can do it like this. So this sequence, 1 is green, 1.5 is light green, yellow is 2, darker yellow 3, orange is 4, peach or whatever is 6, red is 8, maroon is 12, purple 16, blue 24, light blue 32, and then lighter blue, and then that feeds us back to green. Yeah, lighter blue to green. And that's just the best I could do it. I mean, if I was a little bit more of an artist or whatever, I'd probably make the colors, but you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to go from one end of the color spectrum as accurately and as systematically to the other end of this color spectrum. So if you get that, you get the lesson that I'm trying to do there. And so this is what I'm trying to show here is just, this is the way that if you wanted to put a basic like code on stuff, like if you want to make a vortex picture of something, then this is it. Okay, vortex-based math, it's not doing anything, and it's not an accurate representation of anything except for math tricks. This is an accurate representation for a daffodil, all plant life, all growth, all art, all everything. It's doing the spiral of life. It's doing a Fibonacci curl. But it's stupid to even say Fibonacci curl because what you're saying is you're taking random numbers and then you're saying you're in a base 10. How did you know that God built in a base 10? He didn't. He didn't build in a base 10. Base 10 makes no sense. You don't base something in the middle. It's base 1. Okay, this is a base 1, or a base 1.5. And so it's like that 1 then doubles. So it's like when you hit a baseball, you don't hit it to all the locations out into the field. When you hit the ball, you hit it to 4 places. When it once hits the crack, because now it's in a waving, it's in a doubling sequence. So there's no possibility that it's going to go right there or wherever you think it's going to go. It's going to go right to this particular place. No. Once it cracks the ball, it can only go because it's going to double from where it started. And so like when I double 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, well, it's not, there is no 33. So you can't land on the number 33. Your next number you can land on is 64. The next number you can land on is 128. The next number you can land on is 156. As you double out, you cannot control your ability to have a finer point. And what that shows is that it shows that the world is only the size of 12 positions at any one time. You can give, for argument's sake, you can give like, well, in that I could say that, well, for argument's sake, you can always say that it's just one position. It's just one thing you're looking up. You're deciding to split up the one thing in this, in a 10ness or a 8ness or a 12ness. What I'm going to show is that we've determined that the best way to split up a day, for example, is in a 12ness, not a 24ness, and a 12ness usually, because you're up from it goes in 12-hour cycles. I mean, I think we've kind of gotten to where we've lost our ability to see just the sense in simple things. But so why is this better than something else? Well, for one reason, the people who invented numbers, they made this sequence repeat. Okay, 1 2 4 8 7 5 1 2 4 8 7 5 repeats forever. Like, try it out yourself. Watch a vortex-based math video. The number code 636363 also repeats. 1.5 is 6, 3 is 3, 6 is 6, 12 is 3. So what I'm saying is these two number patterns repeat. So 6s are supposed to go with 3s. When you get into accounting and you add in more complex numbers, which you don't need to do, but we're doing here to unfuck your mind and unfuck all our minds from where they're at. Numbers always could be seen as really simple. If you ever start seeing numbers outside of simple geometry, you're in the land of the fucking retards. You know what I'm saying? And this is where I'm very much for, and some of these guys, I think I give them a hard time. I give you a hard time because it's like, explain your fucking self. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're gonna make all these pretty pictures. Explain to me, or at least try to make it seem to somebody like me that you're trying to understand what you're saying. But just being a lazy fucking retard dude like me and every other dude, it's like, I get it. I'm you, you're me. You're not fooling me, motherfucker. With that said, it's just like, it's also a sign of the people that are waking up. Because if you can see this, you can see this. What annoys me about you guys, you're like, I'm going to see this, but I'm not going to actually use my brain enough to show how I could easily take my pictures, put some numbers to it, and then easily disprove all math, all science, and then, basically restart the matrix. But instead of wanting to restart the matrix, you're like, oh, I'm going to play with my little pretty pictures, and I'm going to get a hand job one day from one of these girls on Facebook. Me. It's like, no, you're not. You're a fucking loser. Like, if you couldn't get laid before, you're not getting laid now. So fuck off. Anyway. Rant over. So 6 is 4 is 1, 9 is 6 is 5 is 6. So this is always going to go the same. Which is 1, 6, 2, 3, 4, 6. It's color coded, so it should be easier. But my brain's so dumb, I have to sit and still do the math. Autisticness. But eventually, the whole point of this stuff, guys, is that what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show you how you can decode math or de-occult math, and you literally can throw it away. Like, I can throw away all of quantum physics and math and all that stuff because I know it's nonsense. Because it's not anything. You can't do any, compared to this number sequence is a million times better. So why would I waste my time in calculus? Why would I imagine that someone's going to engineer a building? You can't build the churches in this fractal geometry using your little AutoCAD or whatever. The only way you're going to build the cathedrals like we did in the past, like as good as like Mother Nature, God could do it, or actually it's Mother Nature plus because we're involved, is to go back to this understanding of the simplicity of the geometry. That's true Freemasonry, or what it was at one time. Was actually understanding fractal geometry, and in that level, it's like, it's like, it's great. I do think it's great. It's great that these guys are understanding fractal geometry. The problem is like, you understanding fractal geometry as a fan, you're good enough to go into my cathedral, but you'll never build my cathedral, so what the fuck good are you, okay? It's like, you'll be like, woohoo, look at the cool pictures, man, give me some fucking wine. It's like, I don't give a fuck about you. I want someone who can build the cathedral. And to build the cathedral, look at the fucking picture you're drawing. Okay? Put something to it. Make sense out of it. Explain it to other people in a way that makes sense. So what this is two waving sequences. So when you drop a pebble in the pond, you're going to get doubling sequences. 1, 2, 4, 8. The best way to describe the counter space is by saying 1.5, 3, 6, 12. And so one is moving backwards and one is moving forwards. If you actually look at this, and I haven't really figured out a good way to draw that yet, except for like this. So because the one leads. It's kind of inaccurate though. So what a better way to look at it is like the 1 is the peak of the trough and the 1.5 is the peak of the wave, and the 1.5 is the trough of the wave. So anyway, let's get to so this is the number sequence up here. 1, 2, 4, 16, 32, or 16. What did I do this one? Oh, 1632. I'm saying it too fast. It's like, geez, I hope I didn't mess that up. All right, so this is the sequence woven together. Does it need to be woven together? Should it be woven together? I don't know. This is just all different ways of looking at stuff, which is what this is. If you really understood, if you could really understand like one thing about anything, is to understand that this is just a way of looking at something. Here, okay, this. So is this. So is this. So is this. So is this. Look, guys. This is probably the most accurate picture I've done. I probably should do a tiny purple line between here. But anyway, what this is showing you is this is coming at you and this is going away from you. So this is your right eye or your woeing eye. This is your left eye or your going eye. This is your spinal cord. Here, your purple. Your intertwined sisters of Isis. Normally I don't give that much. I like to have people try to figure it out, It's simple what I'm doing. I'm never just doing anything because I'm trying to be a weirdo. I mean, sometimes there's not a lot to what I'm doing. And so you might think like, oh, he's being really out there when I'm just really being very simple. That happens. But it's all the same thing. So here's the 12, okay? And the 12 is around a trinity. But this trinity, what I should do is it's actually not a trinity. Look inside the trinity, and you see how this would be better if it's white and blue inside there. So there's 2 and then 2 more. Because 1 is never exists. Because there's always a left and a right side. Because you have to realize that there's only one thing. So calling something 2 at any level was an absurdity. And so this center 1 that gets kind of like thrown off as the Holy Spirit or not a big deal. You got Father, Mother, and then you got the Holy Child, which is the funny thing about the Holy Child. What the Holy Child truly is the Holy Child is God or the Ein Sof into the daughter. But the daughter could be a son, but it's the double doors. And so it's like the double doors into the double doors into the double doors into the double doors. That counter space is the great mother or the great magnetic mother circuit that's holding the world, holding everybody together. And then as we spin out of that circuit, out of this purple center here, this black center, we start to go blue when we're moving slow and red when we're moving fast. But anyway, so it's always 42. This is where you get 42, because what you're really looking at is 1, 2, 3, 4 things. But wait a second, you're really looking at 2 things, because this one thing is a 2 things. This one thing is a 2 things. Just like my arm, it goes 1, 2, 4. Okay, just like you drop a pebble in a pond. 1, 2, 4. Same. See right here, 1, 2, 4. This one is going up because it's fading to white. And so when something's coming to white, it's coming at you. When something's fading to black, it's moving away from you. So what I've drawn here is a donut. Okay, so like I could do a thing on my double zodiacs. So I did a video a while ago. This is one of my own drawings. it's really not as cool as I thought it was. So, but then it's showing you the double zodiac in music. This is showing you how like the sun and moon crescent. We just yeah, I mean I can't describe it much. I know what I'm looking at though, so but I don't believe the Earth is concave. I do like this picture though because it's showing something that I can't really show anyway. Like I believe we live in a ring world, spiral circuiting world universe, and so here it's the donut. You can see the geometry of the inside of this. So if you're inside of a donut looking, but this is whipping around, but it's it's hard to show that two dimensionality. Or the three-dimensionality in a two-dimensional surface. Duh. And then it ties in. I've done a lot of videos on the zodiac. I can just kind of whip through them. Actually, let me back up one. So this is my depiction of how the races work. So you have the white people up here in North America, South America, red people, the blue people over here in Asia, and Australia and Africa are down here in the outer land, And so this could be looked at as the top, this could be looked at as the bottom of the map, and this is the middle of the map here, But obviously people have different ways of looking at their maps. I think it's, if the world's not on this is if the world's on a Mercator map, flat map. If we're not on a Mercator flat map, then we're, oh, maybe I don't have it. Oh wait, I was gonna flip through these. All right, so I know a lot of you guys have seen a lot of these before, but it's guys, I don't even know. I mean, I've sat and talked about all these for hours, and so I don't have any. Like I'm dying here, you know. This is probably some bullshit. That these numbers probably aren't that whatever. You guys shouldn't be using the numbers of 12 and stuff. It's inaccurate. If you're trying to also contrast it with this, whatever. That's another fucking story. Okay, so here's your swastikas. That shows you your basic 4. This is what I was saying. The swastika shows you the basic 4. And so, and then a little bit maybe because I was definitely looking at that. This is interesting. See how this is 9 in the center? It's 9 and then it's shifting through all the colors. And then you got the zodiac on the outside, which is 12. You got the 4 sides of this, which gives the 4. So you have 9 inside 4, inside 12. The person who drew this was a high level, like they understood God on a level that I don't think we really understand today that well. Here's another one that shows it pretty well. He shows that the 1 is always 2. So the 1 central sun or whatever is always 2 things. And then but it is itself, this is supposed to look like the Earth. It's not the Earth. It's supposed to be the moon. This is the moon and this is supposed to be the sun. Or the Earth. Well, actually, no. This is supposed to be the Earth. And this is supposed to give us 2 moons. Which is dumb. I don't know. I mean, it's not. The guy's trying to show something different. He's trying to show the Earth in the middle. Which isn't wrong. Because imagine if you're looking from way up in the sky and you're looking down, the Earth is going to seem like this little thing down here. The sky is going to seem really big because it's right up in your face. So imagine if it's how you're looking, This is another one. It's showing you the 1, then the 2 sets of horses, but then there's 4 horses. So it's showing you 1, 1, 2. Obviously, it's showing you a trinity here too. And then so the trinity. Why the trinity is so important is because it shows you the female hidden doubling sequence. It's showing you that. And so when you're looking at this is one thing or one man and one charioteer, but he's got basically 2 sets. There's these 2 horses over here, so this is 1, 2, but the 2 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all together a set of 3. And if you didn't get that, if you weren't going to understand that they actually drew this cross to show you 1, 2, 3, so you'd get it. Do you get it? And that's a lot of things are like that. And this is just showing a lot of what I try to show is he's trying to show you 12 women down here. So it's 12 women, I think, because they all got boobs. And then the 12 women are represented as the 12 men. and then are represented as the 12 disciples, and then the 12 disciples are then represented in their animal shapes, you know. But at the end of the day, it's all women. You know what I'm saying? I have a bunch of. I'll do a breakdown of the splendor of the sun, and but I mean, it doesn't matter. Everything, it's the most obvious thing in the world that we haven't always lived in just strictly patriarchal civilizations. That in fact we've lived in matriarchal civilizations, and it actually makes more sense to live in a matriarchal civilization if you understand how this world is put together. But I get it that people don't really understand it. All right, I'm gonna flip through the rest of them. I don't want. Like I said, any one of these I stop on, I'll talk forever. Like this one, I always have to talk on because it shows you one star, but it's showing you 2 stars on top of each other, 4 in the middle, and then 8 total. So it's showing you 1, 2, 4, 8. It's showing you a ripple effect right in the middle. It's also showing you what the N is. The N in the alphabet is something that either takes away or divides. So it's either a minus sign or a plus sign. Or it's because it's in the 13th position in the alphabet, you can also write the and as a 13, a 1 and a 3 through itself. And that's a way of writing an or and. You're saying N, like N. Yeah, that N and another one, and another one, and another one. When you're saying na 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 na, that's a different way of using N. It's a different way of using it's like using the whole alphabet as once. That's what it is. That's what you're doing. But anyway, yeah, so I can talk about any of these a lot. It's all the same. It's all showing you a swastika or a Jewish star because that's all that exists in the world. The swastika represents the male 1, 2, 4 doubling energy, and the Jewish star represents the 1.5, it's the 0 1.5, or it's the phi 1.5, 3, 6, 12, and that represents the space we're in. Well, you never see the space you're in. You only see the light that's lighting up the space you're in. So you only see the amount of space you're in that's lit up. And so when you see 4 here, you have December or winter, spring, March, autumn. That's showing you 4 things. Okay? But essentially you have, there's 2 major seasons. There's the spring, summer, and then the fall, winter, right? So there's 2. But there's only 1 year. So everything goes 1, 2, 4. Big bone, 2 bones, 4 bones. Always, every time. But not bones, digits or whatever. Or it's what it is. I don't even know if I like that picture. That lesson. This is just showing you how when they started making, if you're going to make a clock, you make it in 12. If you're going to make a compass, you make it in generally 4 or 8, because that's the best way to maneuver inside the 12 is by 4 or 8s. It's like the quickest way to move is just go forward or back, left or right, and then double that like they do here. And that's like in martial arts. It's just like how quick do you want your brain to work? If you try to make your brain work 360 degrees, it's too slow because I move in 4s. I move in 1, 2, and 4s. And so while you're shifting through 360 degrees to figure out the right angle, I'm doubling and then doubling back. And so it puts me on a level of efficiency that you just can't match when you're in your little accounting system. So same thing, just always showing you the same thing. Here's 4. See the 4 corners over here. There's 12 and then 1. But the 1 is what? 1, 2, 3. But if you really look into it, Jesus is holding the sun here. So he's 2. It's the mother holding the sun. And then you got the 2 moons on each side. So it's giving you 4. Mother and the sun. The mother holds the sun, S-U-N. And then there's 2 sons, S-O-N. And both of those sons could be looked at as daughters, or both of those sons could be looked at as men. Just depends on which way you want to flip either one. It should be, though, generally you should make the moons men. You want to make the moons women, I get it, because like they're so pretty, and stuff like that. But you can't, because that's peacocking is for men. That's the doubling sequence. Women's true beauty is hidden. It's just we've gotten so dumb now that we literally can't see it at all. Like no one can see women's true beauty. So they're retarded. And now we put this shit where we put a little man or his little Peter there. This is when you can see when the men started like having too much anal sex. They started getting like, you can see the art and everything change. It's the easiest, simplest thing in the world to decode anything if you're not retarded. You know what I'm saying? If you're not retarded, just admit, like, guys, what am I saying? It's all about women. These are 2 women's. So later this is depicted as Jesus, right? This is an early Roman picture. The Sisters of Isis. Because they turned the one mother god into two women. So then later they could make one of them more man. I mean, it's our own retardation then fucked everything up, but what does this start at? See how November here? November is the 9th month. See how it's 8? So this is step is back 7. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So here's the first month. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's weird to think, like, why would they start it here? Because that's definitely an 8 oct. I don't know. Maybe we understand things different. So this makes sense. So see how a 9, noon or whatever, 9, it could be high in the sky, which at least it's at the edge here. So that's why November, there's no, like nothing there. No. That means 9. 9 and nothing. 9 and nigh. It's the same. Say, because it's like the nothing is the oneness. The 0 is the 1, is the 2 is the 4. But don't think that just because that's what you see, that's what's there. Okay, that's what you see, what's there. What you see is the man. What is really there is the woman. Every man was born out of a woman. So when you look at the world, it's easy to start to see that what's there is see, this shows that it has a ripple effect. One, I mean, these could be black. Like I could black out these 3s and 6s, and it would show kind of better because it's like this. They would show these are doing a different thing. Or one thing I can do is I can actually do these in a different color and reverse them the other direction. Would be kind of neat. That's kind of how I think our blood is actually working. The material of our body ends up all being fabric to point one direction, 1, 2, 4, 8, and then the other one's going actually opposite and slightly greater in the back direction. It's like when you want to throw a hard punch, you actually wind up more than you throw. So you actually kind of, there's always a little bit of wasted energy because more of the mother always takes to hold the light. The mother holds the sun. You know, and you haven't learned anything from Freemasonry yet. So anyway, here's your basic 4, 18, 27, 36, 45. Then that could be reversed because if you want to make the male doubling sequence, you could have you can have uh, 4 to 8. But it's just, there's a real efficiency you can see to putting things in 4s, you know. And now you see that everywhere, from Jesus's cross to the Templar cross, it's like we're made to kind of, everyone is basically worshiping these Templar crosses, equal arm crosses, which the cross of the sun, it's light, it's a cross of a light beam, it's how light works. But what is light held in? What is the vat that holds light? Like, what holds light? Like, how can light appear? And so light is appearing to you as it's in something. And so the space that it's in is also there. And so you see the light, and then you miss the you see the stars, but you miss what it's holding in, which is everything else, you know. And so, yeah, it's what I'm trying to do. Basically, what I'm trying to do is I have what I feel is an accurate vision of what we're in. But it's only accurate compared to other people's visions. I've went out and listened and studied every single vision that's ever been perpetrated or whatever. I've listened to them all. And I've come to find that they all are lacking in common sense. Okay? And they're all lacking in a quantum theory. And it's like, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that this information is purposefully being hidden from us, you know, like, is it a little joke or whatever? But it's like, it's not my really job to do any of that. My job is just to sit here and show you, you know, unequivocally that this is what's up, you know, like, this is the world we live in. We live in this world where, you know, oh, I know what I was going to show. So I was going to show you this basic 4. You can look at it as, Look, this could be 8, 1, 8, 2, 7, or it would actually be, yeah, 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5. And so that's the 8 numbers. And so you don't, like, if you have 4, if you only have 4 sticks, like I'm just going to use these long ones, now you have 18, 27, 36, 45. But if you have 8, you can split them up. So it's 18, 27, 36, 40, whatever. What I'm trying to explain to you is that, then it seems random when I'm saying the numbers, but it's not random. Here it again. So look at 1. This doesn't really show the 2 though, but it shows the Trinity. The 1, the Trinity, the 4. It shows that these guys don't understand what I'm saying. But the difference is that this artist is doing whatever he's doing, you know. I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's why I'm trying to explain to you what I'm fucking doing, you know. But guaranteed, man, people in the past were smart as shit. Because everyone's smart as shit. There's everybody that right now that's pretending to be dumb on the Jerry Springer show is using the same intelligence that it takes to make beautiful art like this, and they're literally painting a Jerry Springer retard. Which, if you could understand like the art of Andy Kaufman or really great fools, you would understand that it's actually a lot of work to reproduce what some people do naturally. And both are entertaining. Both are entertaining. The real thing is entertaining, and when someone does a really great job acting it out is also entertaining. When it's not entertaining is when people are like, it's like undue weird suffering, or people are just so confused. You're like, oh, these people are so confused. Why would I even want to watch this? So anyway, just further, this is where I fix the alphabet. I move some letters around. I change some stuff. I put the N in the center. You know, it's obvious. It's obvious. It's like, I mean, the only thing that's not obvious is just that it's like I've been literally preaching this stuff for years now, and the fact that no one else can see it, it just kind of shows how stupid everyone is. Not necessarily am I speaking to the person who's hearing this. Hopefully you understand it, and this has changed, but it's sort of a sign of like just where we're at in the world, you know. I'm saying, like, once I realized that it's like, but I could have realized this in 2005, that you can give someone the truth, but it doesn't matter if their brain is retarded. It's like their brain is so much, like, you're having a retarded or a non-retarded brain is a million times more important. And so it's like, you know, I don't know. Like, for me, I know, like, this has been a long time that I've been understanding this stuff. I've completely changed. Like, when I go back and look at some of this old stuff, it's really cool because I remember how I used to think of it. And some of it's better. Like, some of my old ways of thinking was better, as far as like this old way of thinking really described how the blood moved better. And even the way that I would draw the art, you know. This really describes how blood moves in the veins. You know, but I mean, then again, you kind of have to understand how I drew it and why I drew it that way, what I'm thinking of. You know, this picture is really just kind of, well, a sort of a recreation of one of my earliest versions, when I was really just trying to draw this as like a calendar for myself, to be like, hey, I want to make sense of my life, so here's the year starts here, March 21st, and here's the halfway point, you know, or actually it's beginning and end, and then this is the start of the underworld. You know, it's one thing, but you can also look at this one thing as this is a one thing. And then it has two things. And then it has a little polarity, a little duality. It has a little struggle between God the Father up in the spring and summer, and then the Mother, the recycler, down here in the fall and winter. And you have a different relationship with, you know, instead of ever just thinking of like my mind has definitely went from the point where I used to really be like, I have this favorite and this is my favorite. Now it's like everything's my favorite, because it's like, well, Aries is the perfect start of the year. Why would you want to put Aries anywhere else? So there is not like, I don't have a preference. There is no choice. It's like things are in their right places, you know. This doubling sequence that repeats into infinity is doing a spiral of life, so you have it. It is doing a 1, 2, 4 ripple effect. It is doing a 1.536 ripple effect. So it is showing, like when I like to show that picture of a swastika over a Jewish star. Let me look at my Facebook. I'm sure I have it. I'm sure I have it pretty easy to print up. This is not my one. So I apologize if this video is going to be longer. I really don't care. It's just the way it is. I have the ability to download or upload longer videos now. And so that was the big reason why I wasn't before. Okay. I forgot what I was doing, sorry. Alright, I'll get off here in a second. I'm gonna just... No! Oh, wait. No, I can't do that. I thought I was broadcasting on Facebook, but I'm not, so that doesn't matter. Well. Hey. So what I'm looking for is this picture of it. It just shows you guys, like, it shows you how dumb everyone is when it's people like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's like, if you can't see that a swastika, the 4, is supposed to be inside of the 6, the Jewish star, you're just so dumb that like, what could I do? Like, what do you want people to do, the rest of the world to do, to help you not be so fucking stupid? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want? What do you want from me? Anyway. Actually, I'm doing pretty good not berating everybody, but fuck, I'm never gonna get to it. Anyways, just take my fucking word for it. It exists. Of course, fucking it's gotta go slow as humanly possible right now. Wow, this is insane. Literally insane how slow this is going. Like, how could this be going so slow? How is this possible? Alright, I know I put it in here. No, I didn't. God damn it. Fuck everyone. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to go through this post anyway. Alright, mother holds the son. And what the fuck, man? Piece of shit. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, doesn't this normally let you scroll through your fucking pictures? No. Just literally, it's going that fucking slow. Sophia, what's wrong? She's upset. Oh, there it is. There's one example of it. There's better examples of this, but 33. Not 1 plus 9 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 33. I mean, I guess you just add it all up to 6. The mother holds the son. Here, put this red sweatshirt on for this picture. We need you to dye your hair extra red. I know the man would normally be in the red. It's sort of showing you. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. This isn't working. My computer's not functioning, so I'm just gonna stop it there.